Area 51 whistleblower Bob Lazar has a brand new interview out with Jeremy Corbell. It's featured in the new TMZ series that's streaming on Tubi right now. It's called UFO Revolution. There's 3 episodes, and in this last and final episode, they do an interview with Bob Lazar. And who's Bob Lazar? I mean, he blew the whistle on Area 51 in Nevada, right? This secret military base that was supposedly housing alien craft and beings. And, you know, Bob Lazar came out, blew the whistle over 30 years ago, claiming that he worked at S4, I think, was another facility near, I mean, if we're getting to, technical, right? He worked at another facility, but he worked on craft and trying to reverse engineer it, right? And he got to see a lot of the craft. He even saw a being, right? He was told a lot of specifics and details about these craft. They were, one was an archaeological dig, so very old. One was from a particular star system that they told him about. So anyway, why they do this interview, and Jeremy Corbell asks him, like, hey, are you going to testify before Congress? I mean, David Grush is testifying. And his answer is, it's odd, because I go back and forth on Bob Lazar. I mean, he basically said he doesn't want to testify. Like, I've done all I can. What? So I don't know. What do y'all think of the answer? I found it interesting. Again, I go back and forth on the guy. I don't know. It's just go testify if you're telling the truth before Congress, right? That would actually help protect you more and, validate some of it. Because I think that's what's holding a lot of people back from believing his story. But anyway, I appreciate Jeremy Corbell asking him, to be honest with you, and filming it and then putting it in the final cut here, right? So we get to see that. So anyway, let's dive into it. They also talk about other things that are quite interesting. So let's just dive into this. Look, I made a video yesterday about Stephen Greenstreet in the basement office, and if you're confused about who that is, I'll put a link down in the description. You can find out more. Anyway, he's a New York Post journalist, and he replied. He commented. I pinned that comment at the top of that video, and at the end of this video, I'm going to go over that comment and share it. So, stick around if you want to see more about that. Other than that, let's dive into this video. And of course, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. I really do appreciate it. And of course, comment down below of what you think of Bob Lazar, this interview, that answer, his testimony. Should he testify? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's dive in. Long intro. I apologize. Okay. Let's just go for it, y'all.
Government scientists has alleged that the U.S. military is flying recovered UFOs at a secret base in the Nevada desert.
Bob Lazar says there are at least 9 of the flying saucers being tested and that they were not built on Earth.
Bob Lazar isn't the only person to claim inside knowledge of the flying discs at the test site. He's just the only person to say so publicly.
Hey, Bob, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jeremy.
Bob Lazar is a renegade. He just threw a UFO grenade into public consciousness. Boom! Area 51 flying saucers.
There's definite proof, and we even have articles from another world, another system. You just can't not tell everyone.
Reverse engineering, the sports model craft.
It's obvious it came from somewhere else. Other than Earth.
I mean, Bob Lazar was the original whistleblower.
Talking about contact, physical contact and proof from another system, another planet, another intelligence. That's got to be the biggest event in history, period.
And it's real.
And it's real and it's there.
Can you fucking believe kind of where we've gotten?
Well, it's like everybody says, I never thought we'd be here, but here we are.
Yeah, and you're always kind of like warning me. I mean, I think it's just because of your experience, you know what I mean, of what happened to you. But when George and I push these issues forward, why is it you're always kind of concerned for us?
Well, the concern is warranted. Look what's happened in the past. So, I mean, really, who knows? Who knows how badly they really want to keep this secret? Who knows who's in charge of keeping it secret? The government hasn't voluntarily come up with this information. It's only because they've had their arms twisted. It's never a safe thing to play around with information like that.
I mean, with George and me, I mean, you know, look, first of all, it's your fault. I'm gonna blame it on George Knapp would never have been into the UFO thing, and also me, if you had not come forward. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for what you did. That's just a fact.
Well, maybe. I mean, it might have come out in other ways. It might have just come out over time. Other people may have leaked it, so.
Whenever you warn me about, like, Jeremy, I don't know if you should put that out. I don't know if you and George should report on that. It's like the kettle calling the pot black, man, because you're the one that originally threw the UFO grenade.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But I don't want you guys to go through that stuff. Just be careful. Don't step on the wrong toes.
You see what's happened in the world. You see, I mean, what do you think of, like, David Grush coming forward?
That's dynamite. I mean, it really is. I can only hope that some more people come out.
Would you talk in front of Congress if I set that up? Would you give your testimony under those same circumstances under oath? Would you throw down one last time?
I fought the fight for 30 years, and I'm kind of happy the way it is now. The last thing I want to do is stir the pot again. So yeah. I can say under oath everything I said before is true, and that's all there is to it.
You've said before.
Let me just pause it real quick here. There's still more, because I gotta address that before I forget it. Bob Lazar saying, hope more whistleblowers come forward. You're one of them. You are what are you talking about? No one even remotely making the claims that you're making has ever even claimed to exist, right? No one has seen everything you're saying you've seen. You've seen them fly. You've been inside of it. You've seen the energy source. You've seen multiple craft. You've seen some that are, right, that have been hit by like a missile or something. Again, you said was an archaeological dig. They found it buried, right? One you said came from a star system. Like, you saw an alien being too. You've seen, you are the whistleblower. There should be no one. If your story is true, why aren't you testifying? You are the one to testify. I don't understand this idea of, oh, well, we need more whistleblowers to come forward. What are you talking about? It's you. I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'm overreacting to this, but I don't know. But let's be real. What could be some possible reasons to not come forward, right? But before we get to that, let's address that last comment he made where he said, everything I've said or whatever, right, what did he say? Let's listen to that one last time.
In front of Congress, if I set that up, would you give your testimony under those same circumstances under oath? Would you throw down one last time?
I fought the fight for 30 years, and I'm kind of happy the way it is now. The last thing I want to do is stir the pot again. So
he doesn't want to stir the pot. He's fought the fight for 30 years. I mean, not really, because he claims he stayed away from the spotlight and hasn't done any of this. That's his whole claim. I've not tried to monetize. I've stayed away. I'm out of this. I don't care about this stuff. I don't do it. So I don't know what fight he's fought for 30 years. Again, I'm not trying to dismiss anything he's saying, but what does he mean by he's fought the fight for 30 years? He's not doing, I don't know, y'all. Look, I know he has a new documentary coming out. I just don't know about this guy, man. I do like Jeremy Corbell more and more. He's just very passionate. Maybe I could see just a lot of good in him, to be honest with you. Maybe there's some stuff I don't agree about what he does, whatever. Nobody's going to agree with everything I do. But Bob Lazar, again, it's just the claims he's making. I'm sure as a person, he's great. Probably a great guy to have a beer with, talk with, whatever. But, dude, you're saying you have the answer to the greatest question in human history, right? And you're saying you won't go testify before oath, but you're saying, trust me anyway. I would say this under oath anyway, right? But you're not. You don't get credit for saying you'll go do something. You get credit when you do it, right? Now, we would all support him and love for him to do it. I would be right there as, a little skeptical of his story. I'd be right there supporting him to testify. Of course. That would change a lot for a lot of people, including myself. But really, it's this last comment here. I want to get to this.
I can say under oath everything I said before is true, and that's all there is to it.
That's not all there is to it. But you want other whistleblowers to come out and they can stir the pot, right? Remember you said you didn't want to come out and stir the pot, but they can come out and stir the pot? I don't understand. You could actually help these other whistleblowers, right, from having to come out. If you come out, they don't even need to. David Grush would have never needed to. If you'd have testified before Congress a long time ago, we'd have disclosure a long time ago. You know, I think in a lot of ways. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's going too far, but you know what I mean. I don't know. What do y'all think? Please tell me in the comments. Am I overreacting? Again, let's discuss some of the points of why you wouldn't testify before Congress. Maybe on a personal level, okay, you just don't see the forest through the trees, and it's just kind of, let's just assume his story is real and he's been ridiculed and whatever, and he's like, screw these people, screw it, I don't want to do it. Okay, there could be something to that. Would I agree with it? No. I'd say put that aside and hello, right? Humanity needs you. But it could still be an argument that he can make, right? And you really couldn't say anything to him. Again, you could disagree or agree or not agree with it, but whatever, it's still his choice. But if you're a person that people are a little dubious of your claims and your reputation kind of rides on that, and the reason you've kind of gotten some heat in the UFO community is because of your story and your reputation can't be validated, right? Your education, your history, right? And I'm not judging you, I'm just saying, right? And this claims you're making, right? That's why that happened to you in a lot of ways, right? I'm sure there was some unfounded attacks, granted, of course. But a lot of it was people questioning, right? Because those things couldn't be validated. And you could validate a lot of it by putting it under oath, under congressional oversight, So I don't know. But again, maybe there are some reasons he wouldn't do it, and that's fine. But I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks. I, for one, would love to see him testify under oath in front of Congress, because who else, right? Again, there's no one else with the claims he's making. Like the claims, there isn't anybody. There is no whistleblower. There's going to be a whistleblower that comes out and says, I worked on this little program. I did this one little thing. No, Bob's saying he's holy crap. He did it all, right? So anyway, all right, let's continue watching.
You've said before it's a crime against the scientific community, a crime against human beings to not have the basics out about this. What would you like to see happen, or what's the best case scenario? Like, could this secret be told openly?
It's a difficult question because I understand the national security implications of it. There's valuable information potentially to be gained that really could change the direction of a country. And so how do you get that out into free discussion between scientists and yet keep it undercover so the valuable information doesn't get to other countries? It's very difficult. Every other project, it seems, that the government has worked on has leaked. And this is potentially, world-conquering information, technology that can change the course of mankind. But you could at least admit the one thing that we kind of agree on at this point, that there is another civilization visiting us. At least come to grips with that.
It's like there's a lot of theories of like where these people are from or where this technology is from. But it sounds like from your experience, it is clear that whoever's operating these craft, or the one that you got to see, that they were from another, or at least the craft was able to travel amongst solar systems.
Well, more than that, because it utilized gravity, it actually distorts time. So it can travel more than just out of the solar system. And, there's no guarantee that these were aliens from another planet. I've heard people throw out theories that it's just us from the future coming back to visit. I can't discount anything like that. That could either...
Hang on. Again, Bob Lazar has said that he knows what star system they came. Like I don't know, have it off the bat, but he has named the actual star system that it came from in an interview. So I don't understand this.
Easily be true. So whether this is from people from another dimension, us from the future, or creatures from a distant star system, that all remains to be seen.
Yeah. Is there anything you're not telling me, Bob?
Of course.
On a
Look, give it to Jeremy. You know, this guy spent a lot of time with this guy, interviewing, making a documentary, putting it out. He's become friends with him. All right, so it's just going to be a little hard, and I don't blame Jeremy. Who wants to throw their friend under the bus or hurt their friend, right? I honestly, I get it. I have friends too. They mean the world to me, right? So, like, they're family. Like, for me, once a good friend they become family. So, like, I understand that, right? Should Jeremy potentially have not put himself in that position? Yeah, maybe you could argue that. But at the same time, I get, life is life. You spend a lot of time with somebody. You get to know them, their family. Like, I get it. You're trying to get to know them. Are they bullshitting or not? So, I don't know. But, look, you can at least respect that Jeremy's asking questions that we do want to hear. Okay, so, because I can already see the comments. So I'll at least give Jeremy that. He is asking the questions, and it is his friend, right? So, yeah, I hope he keeps asking him to testify. I do.
Personal note, I appreciate it, man. And I just got to say, man, you've really endured a lot. Again, whether people believe you or not, we've become friends. And as a friend, just thank you for encouraging me along the way, because I am fascinated with this, man. I don't know if we'll ever get to ground truth on this stuff, but I do know that people are coming forward who have direct firsthand knowledge of working on these. What else could we ask for, man? I mean, you would be completely validated.
I think it's coming. I mean, it just seems to be going in that direction. And as far as you and George just doing your job, there's plenty of people in prison that were just doing their jobs.
This story is never going away, Bob. You're always going to be the touchstone for people, as you were one of the first people to come forward and just put it all on the line. Unwillingly, I understand, but you did that, so it's never going away. So even though it's small to you, it's big to other people when you just take a moment and talk to us about it like this. So thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem. I mean, I do want this stuff to come out, but I don't know, if the mood takes me, I may come out fighting again.
The mood takes him. He'll come out fighting again. Well, he does have a new documentary coming out, and also like this VR sort of game coming out this year. So I'm sure he'll come fighting out for that. Again, I don't know, man. I think Bob Lazar was absolutely flabbergasted that he got connected with David Grush and got this guy to testify before Congress and whatever. I'm sure he was just like, holy, I was not prepared for that, right? Like, they're going to ask me to testify. Like, damn, the guy I worked with, like, holy crap, like, he's up there. Like, Jeremy Corbell is sitting right behind David Grush while he testifies, y'all, right? And it blows I'm sure Bob Lazar is just like, oh my God. Oh, wow, they're going to ask me to testify. Holy shit, like, he's connected with David Grush. He got him up there. I mean, they're going to ask me. That's the first thing they're going to ask, right? I got to have an answer. What am I going to say? Hey, man, I've been fighting too long. There's just too much. I've done my duty. I've done my tours of duty. I'm going to leave it to y'all young whistleblowers. Come on out and fight this fight. Going out to the pasture. But I might have some more fight in me. I don't know. Look, again, Bob Lazar seems like a nice guy, and I'm sure if I spend enough time with him, I'm sure he's a great guy. Again, nothing against, but it's like I'm separating Bob Lazar, the guy, and Bob Lazar, the whistleblower. So Bob Lazar, the whistleblower, should testify, right? If he wants this to come out, what do you mean you want this to come out? You have the power to make it come out. What are we talking about? You can go testify, right? You are a first-hand witness. We're all talking about when are the first-hand witnesses going to testify? I mean, James Fox is doing a documentary on the first-hand witnesses. David Grush is about to come out with an op-ed, a first-hand witness. Right? More on that David Grush story, by the way. Yes, I've seen everything floating around Reddit. I'm doing a video on that. Don't worry. So, I don't know, dude. Please Testify, Bob Lazar. I would just really add a lot of validity. I would love to believe that your story is true because it's absolutely fascinating, right? So, I don't know. That's why I'm such a fan of David Grush, because Bob Lazar's backstory is, whether it's true or not, it's presented as dubious. And there's just a lot of questions about it, right? But David Grush's backstory is like, no one erased his education. No one erased his degrees. No one erased his service record in the military, right? No one erased his, right? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, the stuff with the PTSD and that. I mean, David Grush owned up to it, said, yep, that's the record, but this is what happened, and explained, and blah, 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 and whatever. And David Grush went before Congress and testified under oath. He filed whistleblower complaints, right? He has an investigation with the Inspector General. Yeah, he may be doing some things that are a little odd, and I'm going to get into that in a video coming up in the next couple days here. But I'm still all behind that, right? He gave a treasure map with an X on it. And again, he testified before Congress. But see, when you have someone like Bob Lazar, who again who's saying they're a firsthand witness, and again, the firsthand witness that can be matched by no other firsthand witness that's out there, right? Because Bob Lazar has seen multiple crap. He's just, his whole story as a whole, there is no other story like him. There is no person. So, I don't know. I was confused by it all. But that's why I support David Grush so much. You know? I'm not saying what he's saying is true, but I support him in his fight to get his questions answered. And they have yet to try to answer them. In fact, they keep pushing it off and making it weird, right? Which makes me think, damn, dude, David Grush is onto something here. Why are they causing so many problems for him? He's telling them, go look, just go look. Go do the diligence, get right, and find this out. It's because he probably did step on some toes here, right? So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think of Bob Lazar and this interview that he did. Again, I'll put links in the description so you can check it out. And again, it has 3 parts, 3 episodes to that. There are a couple other parts of this series I'm going to cover in the next few days, maybe over the weekend, because there was a lot of stuff said. So it's quite interesting. So anyway, before I forget, before we end the video, I do want to talk about Stephen Greenstreet real quick. Again, I made that video and he responded, right? So it's titled, What Happened to Stephen Greenstreet and the Basement Office, right? So, and again, I'll put a link so you can check out that video, but here's his response. He says, this was a very genuine and honest analysis. I commend that. A couple things. The basement office never ended. It just changed direction in light of new evidence. The most recent episode of the basement office went up December 21st, 2023. Also, I was never 100% on UFOs at the Post. I've done a lot of stuff for them, and UFOs was always just one of dozens of other non-related tasks I worked on. Currently, UFOs are about 5 to 10% of my assigned responsibilities. Anything UFO related beyond that is done in my own time. Why? Because this story isn't over yet, and I want to keep following it. I have so much more to report. Regarding your critique that I have an agenda, my only agenda is to report unimpeachable facts, which I feel I have done since May 2022. The only criticism that matters here is my reporting accurate or not? If you feel my reporting is not accurate, please point out an example with evidence of what I got wrong. However, if my reporting is accurate, which it is, then perhaps it's simply a hard pill for some folks to swallow. I know it was hard for me to swallow. I was duped and had previously reported a false story. Anyways, I've rambled on. Good show. Hey, listen, he's allowed to give his opinions and critique my video that I made, and great, and I love this comment, right? This is dialogue, y'all. This is how you have real conversations. So listen, Stephen, if you watch this for, I don't know if you watch 2 videos in a row, but thank you. I appreciate the comment. I take everything you said to heart. We have a saying in the restaurant industry, heard. So, yeah, man. I as far as the basement office being, like, there are, like, people are like, hey, Patrick, the basement office didn't go anywhere. It's still there. I think my point was like, it's not the same. I'm saying we missed the old basement office. That's all it was, right? Of course, I know there's some new episodes coming out, but look how many people were like, oh yeah, where did that show go? Oh yeah, where did that show go? Right? There's a reason, because it just wasn't the same show. It may have had the same name, but it wasn't the same show. And I get you change your reporting, and I agree with you completely. What matters is the reporting accurate or not? And you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. I totally agree with that. My only concern was just the extra added personal jabs and attacks within your reporting. That's it. I'm just saying that would make it more palatable for a lot of people to watch. They would want to watch it a lot more. Watch your, they just would, right? But I agree with you. The reporting is the most important. Is it accurate or not? And your stuff is accurate. So you are correct. But like the tweet you put out today after my video came out, right, about the new witness with the jellyfish video, awesome. Nothing in it crazy, right? No personal attacks in there. It was just the facts. And look at the engagement it got. So I'm just saying. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you coming to comment. You didn't even have to do that. You didn't have to watch the video. And I appreciate dialogue, going back and forth. So thank you for giving your honest answer to to my video. So look forward to more reporting and more stuff from anybody and everybody, y'all. So back to the dirt, y'all. We are going to get to the truth about UFOs and UAPs. I have a good feeling about 2024. I do. And I do have a great feeling about some other, firsthand witnesses coming out, right? I mean, that's what James Fox said. Again, I don't have any secret info, y'all. That's not my thing. I don't have any confidential information. I don't know anything about, I'm just saying what people have said. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to some stuff coming out. I'm really focused on people who are testifying before Congress, right? Filing reports, right? That sort of thing. I mean, yes, it is great to listen to a podcast, and we follow that stuff here on the show. It helps you piece everything together, So, hey, a lot of great stuff happening. Friday meeting with the, it's the hearing, right? Private hearing, classified hearing for members of Congress to hear some of David Grush's report, right? And start hearing from some of these witnesses. So that's kind of a big deal this Friday, y'all. So, yeah, it's exciting. And this series coming out on TMZ, this interview with Bob Lazar, all these different things, right? That jellyfish video, man, that thing is making the rounds, y'all. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed today's video. We'll see you on the next one. Remember, every day's a gift. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace, vetters.